Good morning, and welcome to St. Paul Evangelical Lutheran Church in Carlisle, Pennsylvania. Today is Thursday, April the 7th, and our reading for today is chapter 9 in the Gospel of John. I'm going to read from the Message. It's a contemporary Bible. Walking down the street, Jesus saw a blind man from birth. His disciples asked, "Rabbi, who sinned, this man or his parents, causing him to be born blind?" Jesus said, "You are asking the wrong question. You're looking for someone to blame. There is no such cause and effect here. Look instead for what God can do. We need to be energetically at work with the one who sent me here, working while the sun shines. When night falls, the workday is over. For as long as I am in the world, there is plenty of light. I am the world's light." He said this and then spit in the dust, made a clay paste with the saliva, rubbed the paste on the blind man's eyes, and said, "Go wash at the pool of Siloam." Siloam means sent. The man went and washed and saw. Soon the town was buzzing. His relatives and those who year after year had seen him as a blind man begging, were saying, Why isn't this the man we knew who sat here and begged?" Others said, "It is him all right," but others objected, "It's not the same man at all. It just looks like him." He said, "It is me, the very one." They said, "How did your eyes get opened?" "A man named Jesus made a paste and rubbed it on my eyes and told me, 'Go to Siloam and wash.' I did what he said. When I washed, I saw." "So where is he?" "I don't know." They marched the man to the Pharisees. This day, when Jesus made the paste and healed his blindness, was the Sabbath. The Pharisees grilled him again on how he had come to see, and he said, "He made a clay paste on my eyes, and I washed, and now I see." Some of the Pharisees said, "Obviously, this man can't be from God. He doesn't keep the Sabbath." Others countered, "How can a bad man do miraculous, God-revealing things like this?" There was a split in their ranks. They came back to the blind man. "You're the expert. He opened your eyes. What do you say about him?" He said, "He is a prophet." The Jews didn't believe it, didn't believe the man was blind to begin with, so they called the parents of the man, now bright-eyed with sight. They asked him, "Is this your son, the one you say was born blind? So how is it that he now sees?" His parents said, "We know he is our son, and we know he was born blind, but we do not know how he came to see. Haven't a clue about who opened his eyes. Why don't you ask him? He's a grown man and can speak for himself." His parents were talking like this because they were intimidated by the Jewish leaders, who had already decided that anyone who took a stand that this was the Messiah would be kicked out of the meeting place. That is why parents said, "Ask him. He is a grown man." They called the man back a second time, the man who had been blind, and told him, "Give credit to God. We know this man is an impostor." He replied, "I know nothing about that, one way or the other, but I know one thing for sure. I was blind, and now I see." They said, "What did he do to you? How did he open your eyes?" "I told you over and over, and you haven't listened. Why do you want to hear it again? Are you so eager to become his disciples?" With that, they jumped all over him. "You might be a disciple of that man, but we are a disciple of Moses. We know for sure that God spoke to Moses, but we have no idea where this man even comes from." The man replied, "This is amazing. You claim to know nothing about him, but the fact is he opened my eyes. It is well known that God isn't at the beck and call of sinners, but listens carefully to anyone who lives in reverence and does his will. That someone opened the eyes of a man born blind has never been heard of, ever. If this man didn't come from God, he wouldn't be able to do anything. They said, "You are nothing but dirt. How dare you take that tone with us?" And then they threw him out in the street. Jesus heard they had thrown him out and went and found him. He asked him, "Do you believe in the Son of Man?" The man said, "Point out to me, sir, so that I may believe in him." Jesus said, "You're looking at him. Don't you recognize my voice?" "Master, I believe," the man said, and worshiped him. Jesus then said, "I came into the world to bring everything into the clear light of day, making all the distinctions clear, so that those who have never seen will see, and those who have made a great pretense of seeing will be exposed as blind." Some Pharisees overheard him and said, "Does that mean you're calling us blind?" Jesus said, "If you were really blind, you would be blameless. But since you claim to see everything so well, you're accountable for every fault and failure." This is the second time in John that Jesus healed somebody on the Sabbath. His disciples asked him why this man was born blind. Was it because of a sin that he did or his parents' sin? This was a common belief in Jesus' time, but Jesus said it was not because of his sin or his parents' sin. There are 4 different reactions by the people in this story of the healing of the blind man. The first was the reaction of his neighbors and his friends, the people that saw him day after day. They were surprised, they were shocked. Some believed it was him, others said it couldn't possibly be him. And then we have the Pharisees. They acted in disbelief and upset that this happened on the Sabbath. They were worried about healing on the Sabbath or working on the Sabbath. They were jealous of Jesus' influence on the people, and they were spiritually blind to Jesus. Next, we have the parents of the blind man. They believed and they knew it was his son and they knew he was healed, but they kept quiet because of fear and of what could happen to them. They did not want to be kicked out of the synagogue. And lastly, we have the blind man himself. And I'm going to talk a little bit about the blind man. The blind man didn't ask Jesus to heal him. Did he hear Jesus give the explanation to the disciples about whose sin caused his blindness? I don't know. But when Jesus mixed the dirt with his spit and rubbed the paste on his eyes, he heard Jesus and followed his instructions. What would you or I have done if someone did that to us? Would we have yelled, "Don't you dare put something on my eyes, wipe it off"? Or would we have listened to Jesus and went and washed in the Siloam? Following this reading in John chapter 10, Jesus says, "I am the good shepherd, and my sheep will hear my voice." The blind man heard his voice and believed. The blind man was grilled many times by the Pharisees, but he did not back down. He repeated the story of his healing. And when the Pharisee called on the man again and said to give glory to God, we know that this man is a sinner. The blind man answered, "I don't know whether this man is a sinner or not, but one thing I do know, I was blind, and now I see." The blind man did not know why Jesus took the time to heal him, or how or why he was healed, but he did know that it changed his life significantly. And he wasn't afraid to tell his story. We don't need to know all the answers to be able to share Christ's story with others. We just need to tell our stories to others and what Christ means to us and how Christ has changed our life. Like the blind man did, he was not afraid to tell his story. So let us tell our stories to others. I was blind, but now I see. I'm going to close with the first two verses of Amazing Grace, the hymn Amazing Grace. If you don't know this story, the story behind the hymn, please take time to look it up. It's very interesting. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found, was blind, but not now I see. 'Twas grace that taught my heart to fear, and grace my fears relieved. How precious did that grace appear, the hour I first believed. Have a great day, and if you see somebody, let them know your story, what Christ means to you. Have a great day. Bye.